Yep. Hi, everybody.
Good morning. Happy Christmas Eve day.
Yes.
I have my family Christmas later.
Today, you're going over somewhere, right?
Yep. My mom and dad rented a hotel that they're doing the catering per se.
That's fine. My mom, when we got old enough, and she had 5 kids, and we had their best friends was another doctor, and they had 6 kids. And my parents used to go rent wings of restaurants on Thanksgiving. My mom had just had it with being the perfect little housewife. And
Basically the same thing. My stepmom's your age and she doesn't want to do that full spread anymore in 2 days of cooking and it takes too
no,
much out of you.
my Christmas is going to be I make a sort of 7 C's chowder, like the Italian things that they always had on Christmas Eve. We always had that at my house on Christmas Eve. And due to things going on with all my children, one's in New York, one's in Austin, and the other one's heading off to Oklahoma to go gambling. So mom's is on her own, but I'm taking this seafood chowder over to a friend. I have a lovely friend who decorates her house to the nines for Christmas, but I don't want to eat her food, so I'm taking my own.
Cool. Did you happen to catch that stuff that Tennessee guy Tim Burchett was talking about?
Oh, they're all coming out now and saying how they're all owned by Russian hookers or something.
Yeah, freaking nuts.
And have you seen that guy? He's like dressed in the kind of jacket my father used to wear to go hunting, with tan with a darker collar, and he's standing there going, "Well, I don't think I need to say any more than that." No, you don't. You've thrown them all, and then they're bringing up Matthew Cawthorn too.
Burchett's they're all,
On
they're
parade.
all MAGA morons. Oh
Well,
boy. Piece on the NORAD Santa tracker.
oh, good. I used to love that as a kid.
Coming down the chimney. Justice
Mm-hmm.
Thomas. That guy's bad. Yeah, we'll check on that stuff with SCOTUS.
Mm-hmm.
But we had some good news in Wisconsin. The maps were rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Gerrymandered maps, so they have to redraw. Whoop, whoop, finally.
Do they turn it over to a special master at that point, or did they give it to them again? Give them one more?
I can't remember. I thought I heard it's going to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Well, they're going to have to. Scott Lynch.
or they said they have to be redrawn or they'll do it themselves. One of those two, something like that.
Means the court will hand it over to a master and someone who's, that's.
Hi, Jane, Carol, Mimi. So.
And Abigail, who was here before we were.
Yeah, right on board. Say, hey, Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
What's that, Keith? Did you know that came about due to a misdialed phone called a NORAD commander?
That's true.
Really?
That's how it started. And so the guy lied to the kid. I don't know if you've ever been on a public phone with kids. It's like the time at Thanksgiving I was working at PBS, and some mother had a hysterical child on the phone because her father had told the kid they were going to eat a big bird for Thanksgiving, and he thought it was the big bird. So I had to convince him. We got Big Bird, the guy who did the voice. We got him on the phone to call the kid and say, "I'm fine. They just mean the turkey,"
Neat. Okay. What the heck? What's up with Burchett saying all these things?
Okay.
It's real strange. Oh yeah. Ron McDaniel caught on a hot mic, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. I think the blood's in the water. I think they know more than we do how thick the blood's in the water. And is Burchett another way to say shark?
What is up with Burgess talking about? So,
Oh yeah.
of course, 45 stinks.
This is hysterical. He wants a divorce. He wants to get away from him.
Burgess wants a divorce.
Yeah, he wants to create a new path, and he's willing to go out there and do it. And here's him going out and on the new path and striking out to create something new and wonderful. You got 2 nights, so this is not going to stop Scott. We've got 2 nights out of 5 cards. The Knight of Cups is upside down, which means all the liars are going to descend, but it doesn't matter because look what's happened to the Republican Party. The Fool, new start.
It feels like a destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my 3-4 wands. So like
Mhm.
4 of wands is like a community service, and it can be a House of Representatives. So
He's going to take the hit.
GOP.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an 8 of Swords and Moon next to that.
Cool.
It's like things they did to themselves and some secrets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things will be coming out with the Page of Coins, with a drastic change of the Tower, and it's going to be for the good.
God, when these guys fall,
coming out. I think a lot of it has to do with J6. Most of it's going to come out this summer. So yeah, I think you're right with the divorce thing. I was getting the sense of I want nothing to do with this crazy.
I'm going to put myself out as a Republican who said, no, I didn't follow the hooker home from the bar.
Well, what's her name? Maria Butina or whatever. She made her round.
Mm-hmm. She's in Parliament in
Long time.
Russia now. It's a safer place. She's sort of Lauren Boebert if they're.
Yeah, didn't the Kremlin give her a award or Heroes Welcome Back?
Yeah, and she's now in the government. She's a commissar in the Zoom. I don't think they're still called commissars, but she's in the Duma. So,
Yeah. Supposedly the Epstein names are coming out.
That's nice.
Being released after the New Year. Court ordered.
Happy New Year.
I don't know if you guys seen this comedian from Indianapolis. What's his name? Redheaded guy, but he does these comic videos. And he did one about all the Epstein names coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes through all these names, and then he pops up one with Donald Trump, and he goes, and not Donald Trump, and he goes some other names, and then he
not Donald
Trump. Oh God, it's funny. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of things Noel Castler said. I believe everything he said. Diapers, snorting, entitled, all this. Yeah, Kennedy admitted it. Oh yeah, I was on Epstein's plane a few times. What do you think? Corrupt Dan Patrick going to be rolling again?
I don't know. I don't know, but they're really seriously, even the not moderate Republicans, I mean, even some of the whack jobs really hate that threesome down there. Paxton and Patrick and Abbott. And the billions, we could have the best public school system and the best hospital system in the country, but they have squandered it all on chasing down immigrants that other states really want to have come work for them. And all the other crap that they do. And of course, right now, with the way women are being treated in this state, employers, it was weekend before last, there was a big, huge meeting of business leaders in Austin and in Dallas, and probably Houston had their own round of them too. And they were all upset because they can't recruit workers. I mean, college educated, they can't go to good Ivy League schools and get reasonable people that will come work here.
I got good cards for Patrick.
Well, they are in this state, and unless we...
I mean, I'm seeing protection around him.
Mm-hmm.
The Sun,
Well,
Empress, a page of coins.
Patrick's the one who took credit for Biden not winning in Texas by purging the voter rolls around Houston. Not only we fix it, but then we brag about fixing it. I mean,
Right. He seems to be, from what I've seen, he seems to be complicit in everything, but he has some kind of loss. Maybe Abbott goes and he's still there, elected or something.
Well, maybe proximity makes a difference, Scott, because I said, what's Patrick's future look like? And I got the Magician reversed, the Tower reversed, which means there'll be a bad thing happen. It won't be as horrible as it could be. None of his goals are getting reached. Yeah, that's reversed. He doesn't have any weapons left to fight with. That's reversed. And the Hangman, somebody's had a change of point of view. So I would say, looking at that, if someone was saying, I want to run, and these are my cards in the near future, I tell them to save their money.
So he's still there, barring anything else, until 4 more years or something, or 3 more years.
It's our governor that's elected in the off year, yeah. But the legislature, all the legislators are elected every 2 years. So,
Well, is your lieutenant governor elected at the same time, or is he appointed? How does that work?
The only person I think that's there for 4 years is the governor.
So he's not on the same ticket as Abbott?
Oh, he's on the ticket with all of them, but he's every 2 years. The only one who's every 4 years is the governor.
Really?
Yeah.
All the secretaries and stuff are every 2 years in Texas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Okay. Oh, well, welcome to our state. We don't have a constitution. If they want to make a constitutional change, it has to be submitted to the public, which means we got more elections. And one year I was running the polls in my precinct, and I ran 11 elections, and that's ridiculous.
Okay. Supreme Court, feeling the pressure.
I'm going to ask about especially Roberts because she pulled Roberts out.
Roberts on the court. I don't think they're going to help Trump. I don't see it.
That would wipe out their careers because as soon as he won everything, then he'd get rid of all of them. That's the first thing that goes is their Supreme Court. Oh, they're not going to help Trump. They're feeling very boxed in a very limited situation. They're trying to have control, but he's breaking their heart. Aw, causing him pain. And then the next 3 are no's. The moon upside down is no. That's a lot of pain. Their illusion and delusion that they can control this, which has been their biggest pain, is totally gone. And they're not going to carry his water for him. They're not going to be the good courier. So, what you get?
So, King of Swords, my Hermit card. It's kind of the Fool too, Hermit Fool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Knight of Swords. it's telling me that one, the whole 45 scenario wasn't as great as they thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Getting all these Heritage Foundation justices in, it's a mess. But it also makes me feel that this is legitimate, what's going on 45 here. Legitimacy and legitimacy of being there and being on the court is a struggle right now. It's supposed to be in a Knight of Wands, but they're restricted with a Tower moment here.
Mm-hmm.
8 of Swords and a Tower with the energy the way the court's supposed to be. So there's a lot of worry about the legitimacy and what they should actually do here.
Mm-hmm.
But as a reminder, they've always threw him back. They never really did him huge favors. In the end, I think they're going to do the right thing. Otherwise, it could be a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my bad karma card along with my 4 or 5 of cups, which is evaluating, feeling grief, sadness, and the Knight of Coins is the honor and doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a, what's the word? Lesser of two evils, whatever.
Right.
It's going to be painful, but they're going to do the right thing. With Knight of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like a lot of contemplation with that Hermit card, thinking in revelations and making the right choices. So with what Jeff just said here, so Smith went straight to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And they kicked it back, didn't say much. What I feel they're doing is let the district decide,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to kick it right away. They're not going to hold a hearing or whatever. They're just going to say, nope.
Mm-hmm.
He has no immunity. That court stands.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they call it, denying certification or whatever.
To get cert is to go up to that court, and that's what you're right. They'll deny them cert.
I think they're going to just deny it. That stands. I don't think they're going to take the case.
I purposefully didn't go to law school. I really resent the last 5 years.
It can get complicated here, what's going on, but I think it's just a legitimate process in their eyes to let the process go as is.
Mm-hmm.
So that would kind of go, where is it?
Thank you, Ian.
I think that's what I was getting at.
Mm-hmm.
So they, I'm gonna trying to think about this and word it. Let the DC Circuit Court make their filing, and if they say doesn't have immunity, and then it feels like SCOTUS would just be like, nope, kick it back down or whatever. You get the feeling of they've had enough. This has been nonsense.
Yeah.
They know, except for obvious Thomas and Alito, they seem to be sycophants, but the rest of them are like, this is legitimate,
Well, except for the ones who's had all their debts paid, like Kavanaugh.
So I don't know if that. Let's go to the next one. But it all is relevant here about the March trial. So it is a delay.
It is a delay.
So is the March trial date for Judge Chutkan in jeopardy? Well,
They've already started to send out the jury questionnaires.
Yeah.
The voir dires.
Another thing the DC court could do is lift the stay.
Right.
And that would put things back on track after their agreement. But if they continue to stay, that's where it gets long. So, is the March 4th trial in jeopardy of being pushed back? My guys.
No, it's going to come right up to the edge, though.
My guys say no.
Mine says the Wheel of Fortune is watching over it, and then things are going on in the background we don't know about. And so those are 2 yes cards, but then this is no, it's not going to happen. We're going to give no that intemperate things will happen, and no, it's going to go ahead. So what I get is out of that is 2 no's and 4 yeses. No, 2 yeses and 4 no's. And so if it's no, it means it's not. At least as of like right now, unless something else weird happens. And
I think you're right here with things we don't know about. The first card that comes out is strength. Yep. That's a positive card. It's kind of like the system will hold kind of feeling. As a whole, we know the devil. We need to hold the devil accountable. 8 of Wands, devil. 5 of Coins is delays, but the energy is we need to remove the devil. In the end, I get the 8 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Hangman. So there are kind of delay cards here, but it's a work in progress. Knight of Swords is, moving forward with strength, speedy situation. But the Hangman's kind of like this situation. He always appeals. This card says, with the Hangman, getting stronger in oneself after a lot of deliberating and delaying in your life. So that's a resolution, actually.
Right.
When it's talking about you're stuck in a situation, but all these delays open up. So I don't think it does. And I asked the guides, and I was actually asking for the last few days, and they kept saying no. Somehow they're going to make it work. But it's all up to the Supreme Court. They could shut it down by taking the case, and then it could be.
They can't take any more pressure as long as they have Clarence Thomas and all of the stories swirling around him, and now they're going after how did Alito's debts all get paid. I mean,
you would think. But all the other cases, even though it took time, they always denied everything. So I think they're going to be legitimate as possible and make this happen the right way.
I think Geek Hillbilly's right about. He says that SCOTUS can't grant full immunity because if they do, then Biden has it right now.
Correct.
So.
Right. Jeff. They are delay cards, but when I read it together, the hangman is adjustment of making things happen correctly. It's how I read them together. You know, it's not like there may be a delay, but things may counteract each other and be processed. Merry Christmas, Willow. Since we're talking about court.
No, someone's already up in Australia. Oh.
Let's look at the end of March for Alvin Bragg.
Okay.
So that'll get a hint too of what we're into. If he's going to happen or that going to be delayed.
I'm going to see if it's going to start in the end of March as scheduled.
Alvin Bragg trial happening at the end of March. My guys are saying no. So that would mean the other one goes as scheduled. Stormy Daniels, Alvin Bragg trial happening. Feels like that one will take Judge Cannon's because she won't go on time. And then Cannon will go just before or scheduled just before the election. That's the way it kind of feels. He's ready to go.
Yep.
This is in the past. The Chariot, Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords. So that's all ready to go. Investigation's been done. Truth and clarity waiting. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, my angelic card, and King of Coins. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, I think there's still the other investigation ongoing yet. You know, that they decide not to prosecute the original.
Right.
Right. But he did hire a woman to take that over. So I think the other fraud case is still ongoing or in queue, possibly too. With that Queen of Swords, because female lawyer doing the good thing against 45 there. And King of Swords, let's go Jack Smith, a hierophant, a government, and evaluating a situation. That's just waiting on the government. I think he's just waiting on the government. Ready to go, but waiting on the government to do their thing.
Getting in line.
Yeah, just getting in line.
Yeah, my out card was the Six of Swords reversed, which means waiting for them to be able to move on from the bad place to a better place. But it's delayed.
Yes, mine just told the story of what's going on, but it feels in my mind delayed. But there was something just done. Yeah, lots of roller coasters coming. Lost train of thought now. Oh, Judge Cannon, she did something proper.
Oh no!
There was some kind of hearing or scheduling, whatever, and
she's got to do the stuff about how they're going to let people see super secret documents. It's the SEPA stuff.
Yeah. So, like, Smith asked for, like, February 9th or something, and she, okay, January 28th or whatever, so. Oh, maybe it was about the jury questionnaire. Oh yeah, it was jury questionnaire. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But the consensus is okay. She's moving in a proper time frame. So is it a misstep toward her undoing? Everyone I've read said it was a positive move that she's not delaying.
How can you tell? The courts move so slowly. It's really impossible.
Yeah. I mean, everything she's done is kind of suspect, but she's walking that tightrope to not. I think all the focus is on J6. I mean, this will eventually go.
Mm-hmm.
Looking on Amazon. What you looking for, Rose? Last minute Christmas shopping?
That's last minute, I tell you.
um, does anyone remember those 80-ish sealed indictments that Mueller had issued?
That's why they're called sealed indictments. You don't get to see them unless there's some way to make them actionable.
That's a tough question.
I'm going to ask if anything's ever going to come from them.
I get the sense that they like some of those indictments were used like into other investigations or something like that.
I don't know. I'm going to ask if anything's ever going to be done with them. That's the. What else can I say?
It's been what, we're going on 6 years, 5 years. It was 17, 18.
It's not a bad question. In the right now, a lot of stuff's happening in the background with them.
That's kind of the sense I get. It's like not like they're unsealed,
Mm-hmm.
but used.
Yeah, but they give someone strength to be able to move forward, and they put people off balance because they know they're there. They're not like a real authoritative message, but they're a message because the page is involved with this. But what I see at the out card for this is no judgment's going to come from it, so it's not going to be used for anything like. It may help build stuff to go to the next thing, but I don't.
See, I have King of Coins, so that's like 45.
Mm-hmm.
The Moon, sealed indictment. It's all about sealed stuff, and I got my evaluation card, patience,
Mm-hmm.
doing the right thing and thinking about how to proceed. So it feels like, they are kind of used. It was a very dark time in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Mueller coming out with dark times, praying for a better leadership. And this is the past position. So basically we got that with Garland and Biden being in there. So I think they're hoping, like a Mueller is thinking and his team hoping they'll be used.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're, like I said, I think they're still sealed, but I get that sense of being used in other ways, like other investigations or whatever kind of feeling. So Page accepts his offers within the government and doing the right thing. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's a mystery, but within the government making the offers, making the connections. So I don't sense they're like unsealed and used. Maybe they can't anymore. I don't know. That's a tough question.
Well, it depends on what it's about because there are statute of limitations on certain things. Now, if they kill somebody, there's no statute of limitations on that. That's the only one I know for sure.
They Jeff thinks they've been used or learned. Yeah. Oh, let's see.
Yes.
Have an end-all indictment on my sleeve. What's an end-all indictment?
I have no idea.
Let's go with I had that created.
Okay.
That's right. We got to look at Ronna McDaniel too.
Mm-hmm.
This could be part of it though too.
Okay.
Getting to those later. All right. Gotta clear these babies. Yeah. Wipe it out. Jack Smith. I guess it says yes. Jeff says yes. Hell yes. Okay.
I'm asking if he's got indictments in his sleeve right now that he's just waiting to pull. I'm not. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes and no. He's still building information. I mean, gotta feel sorry for these guys. Every time they find something, they find 12 more things. Things are really out of balance, but they're coming forward with the truth. There's some woman, she showed up again, the Queen of Cups upside down. And then
is Miss Rona in there?
Yeah, so it's just not moving forward right now. The Chariot's not moving right now, but he's got him. But every time they find something, they trip over 12 more things they did.
So, you said you had a queen?
Queen of Cups, upside down.
I had a Queen of Wands. So, and a Queen of Swords.
Right side up or upside down? Oh, yours are all right side up. So
yeah, I read them all right side. So, in the past, I have a Death, Two of Cups, and Queen of Swords. So the past is about, I think this has to do with finally getting our, so it's all started by delays of getting our justice system in place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is just saying the beginning of when, like, what's her name? The number 2? Lisa Monaco got in place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because this isn't the past position, so I think it's the ending of the obstruction and when she finally got in there. Then I have 4 of Cups, a little bit of laziness. King of Wands and 9 of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a current position. So this is just crafting an idea, crafting the plan, staying in the background, but making it a balanced system, like plucking all your coins and making it all
right
balanced in. So that would say that he's got this life tree that he's building and building up to. And then I have, oh, shoot. Where'd that other card run away to? I think I may have. Yeah. I put it underneath. Okay. Now I got the Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Cups. Things will change when you least expect it.
Mm-hmm. I keep having the High Priestess, and that means there's a bunch hidden that we don't even have a clue about. And when that starts moving, it's going to be huge.
So the complete change that we're talking about here is, well, they finally just got access to Scott Perry's information. All of it, you know, so that all had to be delayed. So Wheel of Fortune, things are going to move. So then I'm getting a yes with a tower. Four of Swords and a tower and a Page of Wands. We're hearing the drip drip in the news. Like we said with like Scott Perry's phone and whatnot. But there is going to be a tower. And we can breathe more easily with a Four of Swords. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
There are more coming. It's probably a good idea to get them on the bottom of the deck. At the Six of Cups, so everything those criminals have done in the past, they're going to come back to haunt them.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. It's like I said, it's probably a good thing he did that way, because he had the indictment of 45, but had the co-conspirators. It could really make it more complicated by indicting them also. Kind of what George is doing. So take down the big guy first that we need, and then later. So I had a couple sevens in there. So maybe it drops in July. After some things get finished up. You can kind of see how it's getting delayed by him indicting Walt Nada and the other guy with 45.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the delays going on there with Ginny Thomas, co-conspirator 6. No, I think that's I think we came up to that conclusion. It was Boris Epstein. I think we decided it was Boris.
Boris fronting for the Federalists. Fronting money for the Federalists.
We checked that. We talked about that right away, Carol, with Burchett. He's running for the hills. He's running for the hills. He doesn't want to be associated with these people that are compromised. They wouldn't be saying these things in public if something wasn't true. And like Nancy Jean said with Cawthorn, it's all secret with Gates, you know, but it's been drip that he showed his nudes on the House floor and everything else.
Yeah. I saw them interviewing two different congressmen who said, you know, why should we have any respect, or why should we even listen to this guy? When, you know, the guy said, I had to turn and walk away. I didn't want to see the crap. And he's the one that he told, the congressman that he told he takes ED, drugs, and something else so he can keep going all night. That obviously tells me whoever these young women were, they were very young and very stupid to put up with them. But
so I just tossed. We can see it's resignations are the last thing anyone are going to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've already had over 40 resign and not run again.
Right. Well, true. With two of them, you know, McCarthy and another guy retired.
But there's a lot of Dems who are pulling out that are saying they're either in very safe districts and they're sure they're going to go Dem again, or they just, why would you want to spend your life up in an institution that passed 20 bills? 20 bills in the last year. And they have nothing on the floor that's coming up that's of any use to anyone. Why would you want to continue to waste your life doing that?
Yeah, it is a waste. So I just pulled 3 cards on this question again about resignations or whatnot. So I get the Wheel of Fortune, the Circle of Life, the karma coming back at you. People are talking, and it's continued effort with the 6 of Coins. It's continued. I think that means it's going to continue to drip the information and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to affect them, but the criminals never. The only reason Santos left is because he was voted out.
Mm-hmm.
He would have stayed and stayed and stayed until the very last second and tried to use that position, but now he lost leverage.
Did you see where that he went to work for one of those companies that will send people a YouTube message telling them, how about
Cameo, yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear about the one he sent? Someone wrote him about their blind 16-year-old niece who had the courage to figure out how to drive, even though she's legally blind, and she passed her driver's test. But then, unfortunately, the next week she was involved in a serious accident. So now she's in a life. And he read the whole thing. And then he found out Jimmy Kimmel was paying for all this. And so he wants to sue Jimmy Kimmel. But Jimmy Kimmel played because they owned the tape. They paid for it. They showed Santos saying, "Oh, the courage it must have taken to get your driver's license, even though you're legally blind," and you're going, "What?"
Best $1,000 ever spent. The
Mm-hmm.
the punk on Santos on Cameo. Oh, good Lord.
Well, Rudy was doing them too to try and make the 148 million he owes the Shay and the 2 women from Georgia.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, well, you remember that bust in DC of that sex ring?
Yeah.
that hasn't come out yet.
No.
Who was involved. So that makes a lot of sense too. Dissing himself and
Christine, Cawthorn's things are true. The Sarasota School Board voted the woman that was in charge of the Taliban and minivans. They, sorry, I got a bunch. I have like a list of 7 of them. And they voted her off the board, and she's refusing to vacate her office. She's refusing to leave. What is with these people? I could drop a lock when I was 12 years old. I mean, you just change the damn lock. They're not going to get in.
These people, they're so corrupt. Your boss said, I'm not going to resign. You got to wait for due process.
No, it's called, they don't have any shame.
Oh, good Lord. That's funny. Okay. I wanted to look at this. So what I follow later.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made a good comment I was listening to. So according to the Trump team, because Colorado said he's off the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no appeal yet. And someone made the comment, if he appeals that decision, it goes federal.
That's right. And then it's every state.
And then it's every state. So risking the appeal could be risking his whole election.
Mm-hmm.
If SCOTUS does the right thing according to the Constitution, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question. Because they said they will appeal before the 4th of January, supposedly. Is the appeal even going to happen? Because right now he's only off one state. If they appeal to the Supreme Court and lose, every state.
Yeah, that's true. Because then it becomes that's what the
It could
Supreme
become,
Court's about. You have to have two different, and there have been 4 or 5 states who said they wouldn't throw them off the ballot but their main reason was the people who filed the suit didn't have cause or didn't have standing. That's what
well,
standing.
there was 2 that said they won't take him out the primary, but it can be revisited
Right, later.
So basically they said he's off, but according to state law, they can't, because he's not on the election,
Mm-hmm.
the November election. So he could be in the primary. But they're basically hinting because of state law, it's not the actual election, but it can be revisited. So he's basically off in general.
Primaries are run by the parties that have them. I mean, it's their election.
Right.
And all the filings are done through whatever mechanism the party is set up for that to happen. What the Republicans want to do in Colorado now is go to having a caucus system. And I hate to tell them, but you just don't stop what you were doing and go to a caucus. It's a very complicated mess. But because Texas used to have a primary and a caucus at both, and they both counted towards what your vote was. Most people didn't even realize that went on until Obama and Hillary came to town and ran. We had what we call the primary caucus. So I understand how each of them works, but each party is in charge of that. So one of the reasons that the thing went through in Colorado, and it's something you don't read in the mainstream media, but it's true, that suit was brought by Republicans because they had standing, because it was their party and the election for their party. So it wasn't Joe Biden or anybody else. So you kind of have to look at how your state is set up as to what's going to happen to it. But if the Supreme Court said, yes, what Colorado did stands, then that would be the law of the land. They would have The problem is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has never been adjudicated before because we never had a person that we wanted to throw out. So it's like all that.
Right. And there's no process, even though like Judge Ludig said, it's self-executing. Well, who executes it?
Well, it's worded in a way that it should be clearly understood from the wording. But if people want to start arguing about of and the and where the comma is and all that stuff, then you got to go up to the next court. It's the reason why I didn't want to be a lawyer. I don't like doing that crap. But your whole life of tracking down that kind of stuff. Now we're all in the swirl of it.
So I don't think
there's going to be an appeal.
I don't think there's an appeal. My end cards are Empress, 10 of Swords, and 8 of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
He would lose.
Mm-hmm.
The good standing would become a disastrous moment, and he would be stuck and lose.
Right.
I don't think he's going to appeal. So I think, in my mind, applying this is done the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And, in my mind, SCOTUS shouldn't have to even be involved. Kind of like, but there should be a better process.
Mm-hmm.
Congress should.
There should be a better process. We should not have every state having its own frigging laws that decide who ultimately sits in the federal offices.
Right. Congress should have an amendment to say, like, there's a 3-judge panel hearing in that district or whatever, and that's it.
No, but it shouldn't even be that. It shouldn't be left to the states. There ought to be laws that no matter what state you're in, you're under the same set of laws for elections.
That is a federal
For
thing.
federal elections, because we're all for better or worse, we're stuck with whomever ends up in the White House. If you look at it that way, it's just like in Wisconsin, where you've been so badly gerrymandered because they've taken all those little places, made them their own little thing. You have a Democratic governor in a state that, if you look at all the other numbers, they're outrageous how it's split out. And that's kind of what's happening. That and the Electoral College, which is a complete abomination.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Everyone votes, you get fined $100, something like that.
Yep.
I don't, I think like the Secretary of State's whatever, just kind of worried about. You bet your rose, we've seen that Wisconsin has to redraw. Good news by Wisconsin SCOTUS.
Well, what about, look at the situation about DeJoy, if you remember that little name out of the past times, who runs the post office. In the last election, this got sent to me by a person who watches on my channel, but during the last election, when DeJoy was put in charge, all the mail I was sending into Philadelphia and the states that they were targeting, my mail would take forever. I had a woman who called me and screamed at me and said I hadn't mailed her stuff. She'd gotten the documentation through the post office that it was in the post office, but I remember this in particular. She lived in Philadelphia, and I called, and my local post office people said, "Oh, it's going to Philadelphia. It's all mixed up there." They had targeted certain areas to just stop the mail from moving. I want to know who stopped DeJoy from moving. I thought he should have been long gone by now.
Yeah, the energy sure felt like he was going to be gone. Especially with the board getting changed. But I know, last I heard, there's still a Republican head or something.
No, there's a Democrat that DeJoy's given a lot of money to his business.
Democrat. So there's like a head of the board, and it's a Democrat that favors him. Okay. Oh, geez. Aspie says she sent a certified mail in August and still not delivered. What the heck? I get everything in a few days in Wisconsin here.
Where's Aspie?
I think she's in Tennessee. I don't know where she sent it, but
what I got is a yes and a no. His little perverse tail's still out there. He doesn't have as much power as he used to, but his goal is to hang on through the election. That's 2 yeses, and this is he's using whatever he can use to hang in place. But there's some people who are really upset about it. So I think right now it may be a time they need to get rid of him.
I'm getting a calm. Somehow he calmed things down, maybe with the organization or rules within. Because in the past, I think it's showing he got so much lashback, and basically got pushed the fear out of him. So the 10 of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Page of Wands, it's kind of telling me like exhaustion, the confusion he created, he got a lot of pushback with, Page Ones is all that talking, new ideas and whistleblowers or whatever. Meta Ones is about proper energy and making things work properly. So then I have some new rules coming in, maybe set up by the new board or something. Because I have my angelic card of good things happening, the Empress, and then my 3-4 of coins is always about making rules, possibly new things on the book, whatever. And that's moving forward. And then the end, I have the Magician, Queen of Swords, and the hard work card of the 8 of coins. So it could be a threat of prosecution of something with the Queen of Swords, but someone laid the law down to him. You either do the job or you're prosecuted or you're in trouble. So I think things have improved according to my cards here. But I think it sort of seems like they farm out a lot of work to FedEx or whoever.
Right.
They don't.
Well, his whole deal was to break the post office so that all those big companies could take over, because that's where his money was coming through. And the problem is that they can't figure out a way to do it because small towns won't get mail. I mean, the only reason everybody gets mail is because there's one big company that does it. Trust me, everybody thought, and you have to really put your thinking caps on to go back in history. The Civil Aeronautics Board ran the airlines. The airlines worked with them, but they said, like to American Airlines, you're going to fly into Iowa so many days a week and stuff. I mean, they went to places that a lot of people didn't innately fly in and out of, but at least they had service. Well, when the Civil Aeronautics Board was killed, all of a sudden, a lot of parts of the country didn't have airplanes, airport improvements anymore. Same sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember hearing about all those sorting machines being trashed. I have to do some Googling. Maybe they got them fixed, or some kind of changes seem to be made.
What they did is they told them they were destroyed, and they actually hid the parts. They split them up between different post offices, and then when the threat went away, they put them back together.
Could be, but just ridiculous. I
What a
mean,
waste of time.
in a good system, he would have been hauled out of there.
He still should be. My tax dollars pay for his butt.
Rose is saying, friend worked at the big post office center. A blue dot saw employees taking boxes of ballots to their cars. Anonymous call was made to a judge overseeing the ballot search.
They used to have a thing where they called red tag. If you put campaign mail at a post office, it got red tagged, so that because it was time sensitive, especially when it was really close to an election. And at the big main post office here in Dallas, they found a whole bunch of red tag mail that had been just dumped in the back and not handled properly. It was a big fit. My candidate didn't happen to have mail in it, but other people did.
All it is GOP rage. We've seen it for years. They don't, it's like the border situation. They'll never approve funding. What's that going to do? They got nothing to rail about. Oh, the caravans are coming. Democrats, let's do something about it. No, we can't do that. Now they want to take away, what was it? A couple states didn't accept funding for kids' meals or something, or for the homeless or something. Iowa rejected the money. Kim Reynolds rejected the money from the federal government to help homelessness and poverty.
Feed poor kids, I know.
Another state did that too. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Where else are we going? Okay. Who's Maduro? Which country's that? I can't remember.
Venezuela. That's the one that wants to raid the country next to it to get their oil land.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if he'll be able to get it going.
So Maduro's trying to take land from another country?
Right.
That's what it was? Yeah, I think I did.
Putin.
That's right. I did read a little bit about that.
You know, I think it's Guyana or that country whose name I can't ever say right. And I'm sorry, people in South America. But that's a question someone sent to me. And they were talking about how people say 2024 is going to be more peaceful, but we have this kind of stuff happening.
Arrest dictators and lock them away in solitary. Mm-hmm. That would help a lot.
Yeah. I got that, yes, he does want it. It's an illusion and delusion. He's telling his people, that's our oil that they have over there. And this gets into the whole International Monetary Fund, but then there's just someone that he's going to meet some stiff resistance about it. He's bathing it all in justice and everything, but there's going to be a delay. He's going to be handled other alternatives, and people are going to see the lie about who actually owns the oil. Part of the problem is Venezuela got screwed by the International Monetary Fund. And so they made them turn their economy over to the International Monetary Fund, which is the wealthy nations. And they bankrupted Venezuela by the way they handled things. So now Venezuela said, well, we're going to go find money somewhere else. I don't know if you've ever been around anyone from the International Monetary Fund. Stop me if you haven't, because it's shocking. But I had a professor who worked on the International Monetary Fund in graduate school, and everybody was like, oh, he works for the IMF. And that's when I kind of looked into it, because this guy's name was Adolf, and he was born in Europe during World War II. I try to tell you something about the guy. And he was that bad. I mean, I was pregnant when I was in his class, and he told me I should just go home and have my baby and let men run the world. Not my favorite. But that's really the kind of attitude that whole group has, the IMF. And they really do hold a lot of sway very quietly in the background. And they are hurting countries like Venezuela, which drives their inflation, everything up. And then the people go nuts because their country's screwed.
Oh, bless you, Claudia. Merry Christmas. Canada.
They have Christmas up there. They're closer to Santa than we are.
They get the alerts.
No, I get the snow so they can actually land the damn sled.
So the question was, does he want war? It's heading that way right now.
Yeah, he wants the oil.
But it'll be in the end, it would be a huge loss.
For them, yes.
Yeah, it's not a winning proposition to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We or other countries would come in to help here with the King of Cups. But the Ten of Swords, it could be something about money. Someone mentioned, Rose said there's 200% inflation. So yeah, it does feel like it's a grab to make money, help, but it's going to be a failure here with the 10 of swords and the 5 of coins in the end.
Yeah.
Because that's 5 of coins all about money problems and struggles. But the 10 of swords would mean it's a disaster, but I have a king of cups coming in to help here. So I don't see it going forward, but there's a lot of pressure right now.
Well, because he needs the war. Two things. One is they have 200% inflation, and they need to distract people. And we need and it keeps his people's minds off the fact you're doing nothing. I mean, it looks like he's doing something.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Carolyn. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these evil men need to go. Porta potty dictator. I don't see Trump even being around to be able to cheat. Let's look at voting for 2024.
Okay.
As a whole, not put 45 in that scenario.
Okay.
United States voting for 2024. United States voting for 2024. November 2024, the big one. Let's just go with the big one.
What's our question exactly?
How's the voting systems going to go in November of 2024?
They're not.
What do you mean they're not going to go? We're not going to be voting this year?
No, there's going to be a lot of people fighting over the control of the ballot boxes. Nobody's going to get what they want from it, but there won't be a riot or anything like that. So quit worrying about civil war. Everybody's still going to be at everybody's throat. But on the outside is it's going to get a bright message at the end. But as far as the vote itself, yeah, there's going to be all kinds of crap swirling around it because we pick it up when we see it on clickbait on personal and social media.
So yeah, I think there is going to be some outrage. So I have the 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
That could mean there could be some law enforcement involved. Like the Republicans could have people trying to do that crap again about overseeing votes, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have that's the past position. It could mean what happened in the past, but I'm just reading it as a whole here. So I'm going to have the Hangman, Magician, and Knight of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
It's telling me the systems of voting have been improved. Well, the chaos of 2020, I think the systems of voting and, paper ballots, we got maps being redrawn properly and everything like that. So I think things have improved with that. 7 of Wands, High Priestess, and 9 of Swords. So
a lot of worry over it.
There is a lot of that Knight of Swords, 9 of Swords. That cat there is in his bed, face worried about it. So the systems are in place. With the 7 of Wands there shows a little bit of a battle going on, fighting. So there is worry. But in the end, I think it goes off smoothly. It goes on with Democrats. So I have the star, 9 of cups. That's my Democrat card.
Mm-hmm.
The hermit and the page of swords. Much contemplation is going into a proper election,
Mm-hmm.
and the battle will be won by the Democrats. So star is
Mm-hmm.
great, and then my Democrat card, Democrats winning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's going to be a little outrage. It feels a little less to me, but I think it goes off a lot better. Maps redrawn, ballot systems have been tidied up. Got all Dominion won their lawsuit. There's a lot of little things going on that will help. But I think like the outrage that they're going to do is going to be try to shut down so we don't go through this crap again.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be the law enforcement
Mm-hmm.
coming in. People are getting indicted for what they did with the elections.
And the swing states are still the swing states. And very quietly, they've been getting these false electors and trying them and finding them and stopping them. And, it's worth noting that those things are going on.
Speaking of,
Oh, God, no.
Michigan, little news and reporting about Michigan.
Thank you, personal transformation.
Merry Christmas. Bless you for the donation.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, too.
Okay, which card wants? Rona, Michigan.
Yeah, she's really in trouble for that. Among other things, it's part of the charters of parties that are like that, especially when you get up where she is. They're not supposed to show any favoritism towards a candidate. Now, we all know it happens to some extent, but not like that. So she's in real trouble for that. People who have standing, people who belong, that's just another way to fissure the Republican Party apart. Sue her for what she said there. But what's more important is the big money is going to know she was out there doing that. And that's who the big money talks to, is her.
Yeah.
She and Mitt haven't talked for a while.
The Michigan GOP is struggling for funding.
Well, in Michigan, it's broke. And that's where she was overdoing this game. So have you seen the woman that they elected to be the chair of their state party?
No. Michigan's?
Mm-hmm. She ran for like attorney general or something. And anyway, she's really crazy. And I live in a state where crazy got defined. So
Rona getting in trouble. So yeah, there's trouble here. It's not showing me indicted or prison or anything like that, but
she loses her cushy little job.
I think she's gonna lose her job.
Guys, these folks at that level in parties don't do much. If they're good traffic cops, they're good traffic cops, but that's about it.
So Rona, I got here. She's stressed, burdened, and I think she's gonna lose her job. Ruin here, 5 of coins.
Mm-hmm.
She was all up in that battle.
And this isn't a time at the top of your party anywhere. On a state level, even a county level, whatever. You want those folks disappearing. Because they've built I don't care how good or bad they were, they've run up a certain level of personal connection. And when they leave, that's what happened to New York. When I know they did some redistricting, but when Hochul took over from Cuomo, Cuomo's people sat in their hands, and we lost 5 House seats in New York.
Yeah. I read that redistricted too. Yeah.
that's what you're looking at in this, because it takes a while for people to learn who you are, even if you've worked your way up through the ranks. When you get to the top, it's really hard. I know a friend of mine who really liked Hillary, and this was during Hillary running against Obama. And she came to me and she said, and she didn't think Obama could win because he was African American. This was Texas, guys. Anyway, she said she went to visit at the national headquarters, and she had that kind of access. I mean, Hillary's national headquarters. And the woman who was supposedly running Hillary's campaign, when she went into her office, she saw her turn off the soap opera. And she was like, "Do you have time to sit around and watch soap operas?" And I said, "No, not really." And she said, and that woman was running the national campaign. And she said, "Hillary doesn't have a chance against him." And she didn't, because we got it. That's the difference is we have to not just say they're falling on their face, they're all going to quit, they don't have the right connections. We need to just say, I'm going to be at my place doing what I can do every day. And these guys don't. They do what they do, but it's not what's necessary to win. And I wish we did have an opposition party that was sane and normal. Then we wouldn't have all this crap happening. We wouldn't have people calling people out on the streets to start a civil war, for damn sure.
Yeah, it is crazy. But like we said a long time ago, watch what's going on with these special elections.
Mm-hmm.
And Virginia. Remember what Virginia did?
Virginia did a lot, guys. They were in really bad shape if you looked at the numbers from the outside. But the people who worked on the inside, they didn't take a day off. And I know, well, you saw Sean, who came on our show, who worked there. From the time they hit the ground, they didn't. And Virginia's already hired them to come in next time.
Minnesota GOP having trouble too. Good. They deserve it. You know, I truly believe there's only 30% crazy people in the states.
Mm-hmm.
These polls aren't true, and like I said, if Trump was on the ballot, I think we all believe he'd only get 30% of the vote. There's only that many crazy. And if he's convicted, a lot of those people that would vote for him said, nope, if he's convicted, I'm not going there.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll get convicted somewhere prior.
He already has been.
A few weeks, he's got E. Jean Carroll case again.
No, that's the settlement. He's already convicted. They're just settling what he has to pay to do it.
Well, there's still going to be a trial, or like with, and in a few weeks, what Judge Engoron's going to decide.
Mm-hmm.
More good news. He's going to lose a lot more money.
Can I answer Christine Raposa's?
Go for it.
Texas, no. It's like just what I said, that the balloting and the voting that's part of the primary process is in the control of the primary. That butthole he couldn't get his cat's name off the ballot.
It's the same. No. It's the same thing with Paxton trying to do something. He has no authority of what he was trying to do. Or like Elise Stefanik trying to influence Jack Smith with her little article she wrote to him.
Yeah, well, Abbott and his little crew of clowns are in West Texas because it was the West Texans that were trying to get rid of Paxton because they thought he was hurting the party. So they're out there. It's probably the most solid part of the Republican Party is in West Texas. And they're out there trying to split that up. I mean, I'd say they're shooting themselves in the foot, but they don't have any toes left. Coastal Chrome, Virginia local Dems are caucus. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think your state woke up to the fact that it needed some real help and some pointed guidance towards the end to get their message across.
Yeah, Pegasus. Some of those polls are paid by Trump. We found
No, that one that got everybody in a furor, that was a national poll where they polled 3,000 people for the whole country. That particular poller made $11 million from Trump in the last election cycle. And there's no Democratic money in his polls. So I've often told people I had to read polls, I had to look at them, I had to figure out how valid they were. And it's a whole science unto itself. And it's not a science. It's just we know how to go grab the people we want to find.
Yeah. Tucker Carlson's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of crazy people. I see some of these things and I read comments. I'm like, oh my God.
When you hear him talk, you're going, what? I mean, did you make it out of grade school? This one woman who said, oh, I support Trump. He's a wonderful man. It's all about, and she said, oh, politics has nothing to do with it. Well, what? How could you be standing outside a political rally saying politics has nothing to do with it? He's just this marvelous masculine person. No, thank you.
When I read that Pegasus about threatening SCOTUS, the words I got were the phone's off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
So any whispers or anything, threats are being dismissed, according to my guys. So, all right, bring some inspiration. I gotta get changed to go to my Christmas.
Okay. So I'm going to pull from my angels and oracles. Angel seems appropriate for the season. Tomorrow's going to be a lovely day. We have a beautiful trine in the astrology. I heard several different readers talking about it.
So I got the four of Michael first with the Four of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
And that's talking about make sure when you need reflection or you need problem solving, always reflect yourself by meditation.
Mm-hmm.
That quiet space, make sure you get plenty of sleep, time off that you need. Page of Michael, Page of Swords, that's all about exciting new times. You have what it takes to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Sun. Make sure Archangel Uriel. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success.
That's very cool. Archangel Uriel, somebody told me he's like the glitter of the archangels. Glitter.
The sun would be, brings light and
yeah. Okay.
light and warmth and strength.
What I got for you today is open your heart to love. And the meaning on that card is vulnerability, forgiveness, allowing, and community. Those are the positive things we could be doing right now. And when we open our heart to love, your aura is expanded. That is important when it comes to attracting new relationships or taking current relationships to the next level. Your angels are asking you to be aware of love in all forms. Embrace your emotions and know that this level of openness can make you feel a bit vulnerable. This is normal, but it's actually a good sign that you have opened your heart for the opportunities of nourishing relationships in all aspects of your life. Your angels are paving the way for family, career, friendship, and connections to thrive. So open your heart and be aware if you feel it opening, not to be scared of it, but to let it open. And that's your message for the week.
Woo woo.
Woo woo.
Love it. Everyone have a blessed Merry Christmas. If you're spending time with family, no arguing.
That's right. Open your heart to love.
Open your heart to love. If someone gets anything, just put the hand up. I'm not going there. Let's have a nice time.
And thank you to everyone who showed up in the chat. And I realize it's a holiday. Hi, Angla. Angla's in Finland. We owe them a lot. They're building forts along the Finnish border.
15 forts going up in Finland.
Yep. And they know Russia because they've been invaded by them several times. But anyway, blessings to all the people who've been a part of my life in the last year. And we know we have one more. We have New Year's Eve, but I just really want to thank you. How grateful I am to having anyone in the community, and to Scott, who sits up in the shivering north.
It's going to be 55 today.
It's 55 here right now, and it's raining, and it's going to be raining, and it's going to go into the 30s tomorrow. So,
and 50 some tomorrow.
Well, you're beating us.
50's Christmas.
That's stupid. I hated warm Christmases.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Well, that's right. F-16s are coming to Ukraine.
Yep.
Good news there.
And another $1 billion is coming out of Denmark. So, and that's a tiny little place, guys.
Since our Russian counterparts of the GOP don't want to help right now, thank God everyone else is.
The traitors.
All right. Love and light, everyone.
Love and light, everyone. And let's not think about war. Let's think about peace and Christmas trees and eating too much food.
Yes. Bless you, Nancy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.